Hello there, welcome Genesis Models and welcome to this tutorial. We're going to be looking at fading down our decals, right? And we're going to be using oils for doing that, and not just fading down decals, but it can be, this technique can be used for lots and lots of other things as well. So starting off, I'm using the Lung 502, but in all honesty, any oils will do really. They're basically all the same, they all go down the same. So Winsor and Newton, AK does them, all sorts of oils, doesn't really sort of matter. Now I'm going to start off with this sort of nice light grey, really sort of complements the colour of this FA18. Now what we're going to do is just take our decals and give them a bit of a knockback, only because we've done all this weathering on this FA18, but the decals don't, they sort of get missed because they're put on after the spray stage, so they don't get all that weathering. So what we're going to do, we're going to open this up, right, get in a sort of a nice pointy brush, right. I'm just going to get a little bit just on the end just here, right. And what we're going to do, this is a good example just here because you know, you've got work crew around this area and stuff, and it's supposed to be like an anti-slip. And what we're going to do is just dab this on in spots, and it doesn't even have to be where the decal is as well, because we can represent crew sort of working around here, dirty feet, and it being a little bit more dusty than normal. So it isn't just the decal that we can sort of do just here as well. And what we're going to do, I'm just going to get out a I've got this is an AK flat brush size 8, but the whole key is here to keep this brush dry. We don't want to be using thinners or anything like that. We want to keep it all sort of nice and dry, just the sort of nice pasty consistency that we have of the actual oils. And all we're going to do is just begin to just brush at these, right, and we just want to keep taking these passes, and as we sort of pass over, as you can see, it's just blending in and feathering in. And what will happen is you'll pretty much be able to just knock this back until the point where it's kind of almost sort of gone. So you kind of want to know when to stop or what level of weathering you sort of want, right. Might be a little bit hard to see on camera, just got to rotate it in the light hopefully for you, but like, it's just a case of, as I say, just keep wiping at it until you get that just right level of sort of like a dusty layer or a bleached layer on top of that, right. So hopefully you can see that decal has now sort of been dusted over, but even our normal surface here is looking a bit sort of more bleached and dustier. Again, as I say, you just kind of wipe as much as you want to get the kind of level that you want with it. And we could do that with all the sort of decals. We could even go off and do the whole top of the surface and do a really sort of cool bleaching effect all over the model, or even a dusty effect over the model. You could use sandy colors or buff colors and do that kind of effect on things like armor and stuff, and give that sort of sandy, deserty, dusty kind of look to any kind of model, armor vehicles and all that kind of stuff as well. So it is quite easy, just pretty much that is it. The key is just now and then sort of brush off your brush just to get rid of the oils off it, but it's just keeping that brush nice and dry. Another little thing that we could do, nice example here as well with our FA18, is we've got some exhaust area just at the back here. We can come in with things like blue, right. Blue's a good color for doing things like shadows and shading, you know, so you could go off with your model and in sort of like a shadowy area, you could do the same technique there just to give that sort of depth to it. But in this case, using the blue is actually quite good. If I just clean off my brush, which I normally use something like an odorless enamel thinners, so we don't mix the colors up. But when it comes to engines as well, you can give these nice hues of blue, kind of like that burnt metal sort of look, right. So I'm just gonna again get a bit of this blue on our paintbrush just here, right, and we're gonna go and again just sort of do a little bit of, let's get you on camera, a little bit of dabbing on here, not too much. I'll just do the top for now. Right, and again, same sort of technique straight away with this dried out little flat brush. We can brush at this and create a nice little blue hue, which, you know, you can intensify this, you can put more on, less on, to have the kind of blue hue you sort of want. And that little bit of brushing, hopefully you can just see, hopefully that little bit of a blue hue. Again, I could intensify this, maybe just for you guys to see a little bit better on camera. Wrong brush. If I just kind of maybe whack down a little bit more, maybe try not to brush too much, but hopefully you can just sort of see how well that fades to create a pretty cool sort of burnt blue bit of natural metal finish. Right, I've had to exaggerate that, so hopefully you can see it a little bit better on camera, but that does look pretty cool. So that is again a nice little technique of using oils without going off and using all your thinners and stuff. It really is so easy. That's what I really sort of like about it. It really gives a nice feathered, dusty look to pretty much anything. You can use it in lots of different ways with lots of different colours, and it is just that kind of dry brush going over it and you're all good and done. So hopefully you've learned something cool and try it out on your next model. But as always, until next time, my name is Bob Waldron, this is Genesis Models, and I hope you've enjoyed.